Is that $1 million?
Yeah.
Oh, this is $1 million right here?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, we got a lot of money to spend.
The purpose of these episodes is to explain how a specific athlete spent their first $1 million. He says we have a lot of money to spend. This is unfortunately common among young adults. When they see money, they're immediately thinking of spending. The actual most important variable on whether an athlete will go broke or not is if they can reach their second contract. Yes, there are plenty of examples of athletes reaching their second contract and going broke, but it is significantly more difficult to do so. What generally happens with the second contract is the athlete realizes how little money they have from the first contract, and then they decide that it's now time to start being smarter with their money.
I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Greenfield, Wisconsin, a suburb right outside of Milwaukee.
These glasses give me the Kanye West 808s and Heartbreak vibe, and his outfit reminds me of every sweatshirt worn by kids at my college who idolized Woodstock.
My first job was I worked for my dad doing snow plowing and stuff like that. I'd probably say $10 an hour.
Here's one of the main reasons why professional athletes go broke so easily. Tyler was working a job making $10 an hour and wondering who to ask out for prom. Then 18 months later, he's receiving 6-figure paychecks every 2 weeks and expected to understand how to handle the money. Even smart businessmen will rely on a full-time staff or a full-time employee just to manage their money. So it should be no surprise that young kids playing basketball will blow through money if you let them.
In high school and college, talking to my friends, if I ever make it to the NBA, I would probably get a car. That's a dream, to be able to make a lot of money doing something you love.
What's disappointing hearing these statements is that this is how most young kids think. They see a big payday and immediately think about buying a car as the reward. I think those who are really savvy with money see a big payday as an opportunity to invest.
I figured it was going to be a lot of money, and then once I seen $3.6 million was a lot. It was amazing to be able to see that. That's a lot of money for a young kid.
Tyler Herro's contract is 2 years and $7.4 million. The Heat have team options for the next 2 years at $4 million and $5.7 million. Right now, it appears that the Heat are going to pick up those options since Tyler is really good. But remember, things can change for athletes overnight. Dwayne Haskins was the starting quarterback for Washington, and about 5 weeks later, fans are wondering if he'll even get a second contract.
Coming from no money to having a lot of money, I knew I was going to have to get a financial advisor and everything like that.
Saying he hired a financial advisor always gives the aura of certainty, but at this level of wealth and status, even the financial advisors have to be checked. There have been hundreds of athletes that have been screwed by their financial advisor because they choose someone they knew from high school, or they go with a slick talking car salesman in their city who knows all the secrets to 10x your money. If you want to make this simple, just go with a huge brand and make it easy.
He kind of came to me with a long-term plan with the money I have now, so saying that I never make another NBA contract. The 4 years or 5 years that my contract is now will set me up for the rest of my life. I have a physically demanding job, so I have to really set aside a certain amount of money for my post-career and what I'm going to do after basketball.
Tyler is under the impression that this guy has already set him up for retirement, but that couldn't be further from the truth. As I just explained, Miami has the club option for years 3 and 4. If Tyler breaks a leg, they don't have to sign him. I hope this doesn't happen, of course, but Tyler's career could only be 2 years. That's possible. That's the only guarantee he has in his contract, the first 2 years. And as you're about to see, he's already spent his first year's salary on liabilities.
Gucci purse for mom.
I'm not going to say he shouldn't buy something for his mom. I'm assuming his parents played a huge role in him reaching the NBA. My only concern is buying these things before he's financially secure. If he invested the money and waited a few months, maybe 6 to 12 months, the dividends or cash flow from what he invested in, if it was real estate or stocks, could have bought the purse.
I bought 2 cars. I bought a Jeep and then a Mercedes. That was $200,000.
Before he finished his first season, he was already buying multiple cars and luxury items. He had a great rookie year, so it's looking like he'll have a nice career, but you can see how quickly athletes spend their money with no guarantee that their career will last. What a lot of athletes don't understand is that they are already wealthy. Their goal should be to preserve their wealth in a conservative manner. The one thing they should avoid at all costs is going on the path that could lead to the risk of ruin. Spending all of your money anticipating many more paydays is the easiest way to put yourself in position for ruin if one bad thing happens, and for athletes, that's generally a career-ending injury. They were given a once-in-a-lifetime lottery ticket that carries with it a small chance of going broke, and many of these guys are spinning the roulette wheel.
60,000, four-door Jeep Wrangler.
He's already bought 2 vehicles. What isn't included is the constant maintenance, the insurance, the registration, the taxes. Yes, when you're earning millions of dollars, little expenses seem trivial. Athletes don't go broke when the paychecks are coming in. They go broke because they live a lifestyle full of monthly expenses that can be afforded while playing, but become an absolute nightmare when the playing days are over. I can't comprehend spending that much money on clothing. NBA players are generally well dressed and are known for the expensive, stylish outfits. To me, anything more than a couple grand on a closet full of nice, tailored suits is spending way too much. Come on, Tyler, you can spend $5 grand on clothes and the other $80 grand towards a down payment on a beautiful 8-unit apartment complex in your hometown of Milwaukee that generates cash flow for the rest of your life.
My first apartment, a realtor down here in Miami helped me find it. $5,000 a month for rent and utilities. $60,000 in rent.
This is an expense that I think is actually pretty smart. If he's able to live in a high-rise condo where he can be somewhat obscure from the public and he lives close to the team facilities, then this is an easily justifiable expense. What some NBA players do is have a condo right down the street from their arena and then a house in the suburbs. When I was with the Houston Rockets, I remember a couple players had apartments walking distance to the arena. Unfortunately, with the NBA, these players get traded and move so often that it's hard to justify buying a house in any city. Renting is typically best for these guys. If Tyler is able to land a 5-year second contract, then it may make sense to buy a house in the suburbs.
I'm renting an apartment right now that I live in, but in the near future, I do want to do something in real estate. That is something that really intrigues me away from the court.
This is what blows my mind. His financial advisor allowed him to spend money recklessly, in my opinion, when he should have already invested in real estate and purchased all of these items a year later from the interest or cash flow earned.
The team has a nutritionist, but I actually hired my own chef. My nutritionist works for the team, so the nutritionist and chef, they all kind of work together. We'll say about $20,000 a year on my private chef.
Very smart, Tyler. I think all rookie professional athletes should have a blank check for spending money on their body, their nutrition, and their health. Basically anything that can give them the greatest probability of reaching that second contract. I also didn't realize that chef would only be $20,000 for the year.
I always wanted to buy my mom a car. That was like one of the first things I wanted to do. So once I did get paid, I bought her a Porsche, about $80,000. $80,000 Porsche.
I understand the feeling of wanting to buy your parents luxury and taking care of them, but you can already see how quickly he's spending money and adding high monthly expenses. Your mom deserves the world, I get it. But invest your first contract, and once you earn the second contract and become actually financially secure for life, then you buy the luxury. Also, he is from Milwaukee, a place that is probably not great for driving a luxury sports car half the year. Do you really want to be driving a Porsche in the winters in Milwaukee?
My dad, I got him a car too. A GMC truck for $40,000. So $40,000 GMC truck.
This was a little more reasonable, an affordable truck that can be used year-round. Earlier, he said something about working for his dad, so this truck may be used for his dad's business. If that's the case, smart purchase.
We're only 5 months into my rookie season. I have not spent $1 million yet, but this is what I've spent so far.
He's not even done with his rookie season and he's spent this much. The graphic has $400,000 allocated for savings, taxes, and investments. The issue is that a $3.6 million salary will have a tax bill of somewhere over $1 million because only half of his income will be in Florida where there is no state income tax. He also doesn't account for lawyers, accountants, the financial advisor who advises him to buy liabilities, his agent, and a PR team, and this also doesn't talk about flying in girls from Instagram. The video claims $400,000 will cover taxes, investments, investments and savings. What's he saving? I'd estimate easily $1.5 million in taxes in his team.
I feel good. I feel like I can do a little bit more spending. It feels good to be able to, take care of my family. That's a dream that I've always wanted to do.
I feel like I can do a little bit more spending. Is it this obvious why athletes go broke? He just spent $500,000 on liabilities in 5 months and thinks he can spend more. I just don't get it. He also said the often misunderstood phrase of taking care of his family. He didn't take care of anyone. Taking care of someone means providing financial stability for the remainder of their life. What he did was buy jewelry, purses, and cars that are luxurious. Who's paying for the insurance? Who's paying for the maintenance? What happens if his mom wrecks the Porsche? Does Tyler pay for it and buy another one? These all sound like silly hypothetical questions, but professional athletes complicate their lives so much by buying luxury vehicles, jewelry, condos, lifestyle. Most of them will be fine. But when something goes wrong, an injury, a coaching change, a cheap owner that doesn't want to sign you to a second contract, or you just suck in your second year, then all of your money was spent and the lottery ticket you were afforded has vanished. I wish Tyler well, as I think he is going to be a great player in the league for years to come. He had an awesome rookie season and played really well in the playoffs for the Miami Heat, a great organization. So there's no doubt in my mind that if he keeps playing the way he is, he's going to earn a huge second contract and be able to take care of his family and all the future generations for years to come. I just hope that he doesn't look back at this video with regret if he isn't able to secure the bag. Thank you so much for watching.
You need to be smart with how you spend your money.